To be truly alive means to be repeatedly transforming ourselves. There's an old statement that says, the soul is here for us to transform, that we're really here to transform. And yet at the same time, there's something within each of us that resists changing. In the United States, here, we have a big resistance movement to the idea of changing, people wanting to go back to a world that they pretend used to be, rather than face the issues now and figure out how to go forward with other people. But inside people, there's also a big resistance to change. Otherwise, more people would change more often. And people will resist change even when the time has come when change has to happen. And you could say collectively now, we are in the condition of people that need to change completely, but are tending to resist doing that. So, in the mysterious ways of the world, the metamorphosis of the butterfly shows how, in a sense, and why we resist meaningful changes and attempts of our deeper self to awaken and manifest. And so the way I'm looking at it is this. All of the elements of a butterfly already exist within the caterpillar. Yet inside the caterpillar secretly has a deep butterfly inside. It's the parallel of the human, where the caterpillar is the ego and the butterfly is the deep self trying to awaken and spread its wings. And so all of the elements of the butterfly are hidden inside the caterpillar. And strangely enough, inside the cocoon, when the caterpillar stops and it becomes a cocoon, which is often called the chrysalis, inside that chrysalis, the caterpillar's immune system tries to destroy the potential cells of the butterfly. Scientists couldn't figure this out for a long time, although strangely enough, as if moved by the poetics of creation, they called the cells that change into the butterfly, they call them imaginal cells, as if they understand that what's at the root of the beginning of the butterfly, just like at the root of the beginning of the expression of a person's self and soul, is imagination. Imagination is the power behind transformation. But anyway, in the case of the caterpillar, the cells of the butterfly, the imaginal cells that have been dormant or latent inside the caterpillar, are so totally different from the cells of the caterpillar that the immune system of the caterpillar thinks they are enemies and attacks them. And so inside the chrysalis or the cocoon, there's a battle of life and death going on. And for a long time, the biologists couldn't figure it out. And then they realized that the butterfly arises from its own unique genome that is opposed to the genome of the caterpillar. And this epic internal battle of resistance only eventually leads to the failure of the caterpillar's immune system, at which point the caterpillar dies off, revealing the idea that for something to be born, something else must die. And then when the caterpillar dies off, then the imaginal cells, which become the butterfly, can grow faster and, group together and so on. And so that then the butterfly is being born from the death of the caterpillar, but also from the awakening of the dormant cells of the butterfly to be. So in simple biological terms, there's been an exchange of one kind of cell for another kind of cell. But in terms of understanding the world and understanding the essential dynamic of the human soul, a great mystery is revealed here that says that when we see this from I'm calling it now the wisdom of the butterfly, when we can see it from the wisdom of the butterfly, it makes sense that we resist change. It makes sense that we join with the ego in the psychological immune system that tries to say, oh no, I couldn't be that big. I couldn't be that imaginative. I couldn't be that creative. I couldn't be that full of love. All the things that we feel that we cannot be. in a sense, are our resistances to what is actually already there, trying to awaken, be present, and express itself. So I love this idea, and I love calling it the wisdom of the butterfly, because that's the wisdom of the deep self and soul that I've already been talking about. So, in a sense, once we understand that our resistances, like our experiences of overwhelm, are not simply something to avoid, but something to accept, because the biologists figured out that the resistance inside the cocoon makes the butterfly cells stronger. In other words, if the butterfly cells could simply quickly form and go out and fly into the world, they wouldn't be strong enough to move the wings or to exist or to persist. So I'm taking that idea, as a metaphor for our own selves, so that it isn't, I shouldn't resist. It isn't, I simply should be better and all that kind of thing. It's that my resistances make sense if I accept that's what's trying to be born inside me is bigger than, more imaginative than, more capable of love than, more brilliant than my own faulty ideas of myself.